You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now, it's our turn.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Hippies all around me. Hippies. They're everywhere. They want to save the earth, but all they do is smoke pot and smell bad. Help.
So, right, okay, everyone. Let's just have a look at this concept of being naughty. I mean, what's it actually mean? It's common sense and well understood that causing harm towards another soul is a fundamental wrong. And me saying this means that I believe that doing harm to any conscious life form on the planet is a contradiction to what life actually is. So, if we're talking about naughty as being a harm inflicted onto another sentient being, then yes, being naughty is to be stopped and it must be contained. But then there's all the rest, isn't there? All the stuff that's perceived to be bad or naughty, but actually in reality isn't harming another soul. Yet some humans as a society have decided to introduce a control system and place it into a lovely box and decided that it's wrong. And that same control system has fired this propaganda into the thoughts of millions of people. You can't do this. You can't say that. Quick, let's tell the authorities that such a body has done this or they've done that. Forgetting that actually nobody was hurt. Nobody made a loss because of it, and they never will. Constantly, the media dictate how we should behave, how we should act. Millions have been subjected to this mind control, bombarded with insignificant reality states to divide us and to shape us and bring around the manifestation of a system which binds you to be the slave they want you to be. So, right now, I'm going to be naughty. And I'm going to do tonight something that millions here in the UK and elsewhere believe to be so wrong. Purely because the media or their governments told them that it was. So, okay, right now, as we talk, as you listen, as the world just carries on regardless, I'm just going to do such a simple individual act, and I guarantee this act will not cause you any harm, loss. It will not cause any fear to run through your mind. Tonight, all I'm going to do is roll myself a joint. So here we go.
You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now, it's our turn.
Okay, so while I crack on and do this, and please feel free out there in the cosmic internet universe to participate in rolling yourself some sort of medication and having a good smoke while you listen tonight. Why not? Why not? Apparently, it's very, very naughty to do something like this. You know, just take something that grows from the land and just inhale it. You know. Where's the harm? I can't see a harm anywhere. So if there's no harm, well, jolly by Joe, I'm gonna do it. Why not? And who are you to tell me that I can't? You know. So here we go. Yeah. So feel free to roll yourself a nice one. I like to have mine what I call a raw. I don't like putting tobacco with my grass. You know, I don't want to ruin it. That's like putting tonic water to vodka, isn't it? You know, let's just drink the fucking vodka. There we go. That's all that. So what we need to do now is find some sort of little roachy dude to go in the end. We don't want it soggy at the end, do we, guys? That's just shocking. And I'm actually staying in a hotel tonight. For those of you who don't know, over in Liverpool, the one of the best cities in the world. And I've just, find these little, next to the little tea bits where they all little, you can have these horrible contain little milk bits and sugar in a little package, and there's some coffee and tea. Well, there's always a little breakfast advertisement next to it, and I find that the I can't get my words out. The texture is just right, and it's nice for the end of the roach to just curl up inside the end of your spliff, I find. So, travel lodges, pretty shit really, but you can roll a good little roachy at the end with the shit that we put next to the coffee machine and all that. Hey, I don't know. Right, yeah, so while I do this, let's have a little chat, because it's been a while, hasn't it, guys? It's been a while. I've been away and I've been doing some stuff, and I've been naughty, and I've been that naughty that I've caused the police, the Lancashire police, to come knocking on my door. And I don't know if any of you seen the recent upload, maybe, but basically what has happened since the last time I spoke on CMR is that I decided to explore slaughterhouses and all that sort of stuff. This is where it really starts, okay, guys? That video. We're going to go back a month or so. Right, and that's my nice little joint rolled ready for later. Okay, so slaughterhouses, yeah. I started paying a visit. I took the camera with me. Some of the stuff's on YouTube. Had some really interesting days. Had some really interesting chats. Some funny, some not so funny. All too much to put into a full upload on YouTube, so I've decided to do it into a few parts, and so we've completed part 1. Part 2 should be soon, but basically every time I go to these places, the security staff start buzzing around the the gates of these slaughterhouses, and they're like flies around shit. I don't mind calling myself shit, to be honest. I don't care. They're like little flies running around, flying around shit. And eventually it all gets a bit too much for them, and they have to come over and tell me to move on, or they're gonna call the police. They don't want any filming to take place whatsoever. To which I tell them basically, tough, I'm going to stay here, I'm going to film what you're doing, because I think what you're doing is absolutely horrendous, and I'm going to show it for what it is to anyone that'll listen, basically. And at that point, that's probably when they call the police. And I've had many police visits now, outside various slaughterhouses, to which you've seen one on the first upload, but all of which end up with the police, man or woman or both at the same time sometimes, saying that whatever it was I was doing was entirely peaceful, and they really didn't have a problem with me standing outside a slaughterhouse expressing my opinion about what goes on in there, and furthermore didn't care that I was filming that property. Alright? And I have this on camera, and it's fine. Alright? I've spoken to lots of police officers. They're all saying the same. Anyway, moving on, but where the stories will come back and connect. Moving on, a couple of weeks later, me and some friends decided to go into Burnley and explore Burnley people's attitude to the future, right? which was an absolutely crazy fun day. There will be some more of them coming up, and I really enjoyed it. Various towns and all, and various questions. Yeah. Anyway, basically, what's happened is that we ended up outside an Army Career Centre, and I always carry a balaclava around me. You see it at the start of the video and at the end of the video where I use it to effect running through a subway. All right, just me wanting to do some daft sort of film intro and exit. Okay, that's as simple as it was. But I decided that. Actually, I'm going to get the balaclava out early and stand outside the career centre, and that's as innocent as it was, and it would be fun just to film it, because it's like satire and contradiction and everything. At that time, there was 2 military personnel stood at the door, and as soon as they saw me put the balaclava on, asked me to take it off. And do you know what? We'd had such a fun day. Doing the video about Burnley people and their attitudes to the future, that, you know what, fair enough, I'm gonna take the balaclava off. I know I didn't have to, but that's not what the day was about, that particular day. And we'd finished filming and we just wanted to basically go, and that's what we did. We said to the Army Careers guys, there's a few words about, you know, freedom of speech possibly and that sort of thing. An expression of thought, but fine, we're going to go. There was a reference from one of the military guys that they wanted to phone the police, and they did, but they only phoned them after we'd left, so it's like an after effect, if you will. And basically what's happened is they've come knocking on my door one Monday morning. I'm at work, and she gets a knock at the door, and it's police. And she comes in, and they come in and they ask for me, and they say no, he's not back until Friday. And they come back on Friday, and they start questioning me about all sorts of stuff. But one thing that they did mention to my wife on Monday was that I've been noticed outside slaughterhouses as well. So they obviously knew where to come and who I was before anything ever happened. And I just feel that they've got this file growing on me for doing nothing wrong. And I hope that I'll bring that across in the video. Anyway, I'm waffling now. I believe the microphone's not so good tonight, so I'm trying my best. Let's play a song then, and we'll come back with some more mad stuff, shall we? Okay. This is John Mayer. Alright, yeah. Get yourself down there if you can, guys. It's going to be interesting. Now, I'm going to play a song in a second. And when the song finally begins to play, this is a song, guys, that me personally, well, I just want to make love again, and I want to fall in love again every time. Give this a listen. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed the He-Man. I couldn't resist it. I came across it and I thought, yes, I've not heard that for ages. Coming home from school, switching the telly on, and the only channel that we got, yeah, Pippa, sod off. The only channel on TV for children between 3:30 and 5:30 news round and all that rubbish was this, and He-Man was on, wasn't he, guys? And I remembered it, and I thought, do you know what, I'm just going to do it. I know everyone will smile when they hear it anyway, so that's what it's all about tonight, smiling. I know I am. I've pretty much been stoned for the last, 4 days. It's been really good fun. What I've got for you tonight is why I called this the Green Man Sessions. instead of Green Man Show, because each week we're going to do a 20-25 minute meditation session, but it's a meditation session done with a bit of Dan roller coaster in there, okay? And we're seriously running out of time. I had loads of stuff to come after this, but we're going to go for a good 20 minutes now, guys. So whatever you're doing, this is the session for this week, and this week's session is called The Sleep Loop by a really crap storyteller. Enjoy.
So, I was taking a walk in the beautiful countryside in England back in 2012. I was walking down the footpath for some time, and I decided to take myself off the main trail, and I ended up in the forest. It was a really dense forest. It was so dense with trees that not much light shone on the forest floor. I made my way deeper into the forest for a while until my legs became tired. So I found a tree that had fallen with age, and I sat down for a while on the huge tree trunk. Until being seated slowly manifested into a more let down position, man. And as I lay there, I just started to listen to the sounds coming from the forest. A gentle melody of life drifting through my thoughts. And when I look back now, I guess it was the best daydream I'd ever had. Dream that I was trained as a survival pilot, and I was on board a space cruiser. The ship had been launched days before, and most of the crew had entered into space sleep. I was finishing off the flight navigation logs before I was due to sleep. The ship was equipped with search and location guidance computers. These computers were set to wake the crew from the sleep pods upon location and identification of what we called the Blue Planet. Finished setting the navigation logs before I sat down in my sleep pod. I began to daydream about waking to gaze upon another beautiful planet like ours. My mind exploded with beautiful visions of the possibility of discovering other life forms. Slowly, my mind grew dark. I was asleep. These visions and dreams of life re-emerged to fill my soul with hope. The sleep pod opened, and the warm air touched my skin. I was awake. Where was I? I made my way to the deck. I began looking for the destination logs for a location. As the ship's computers came fully back online, I had yet no real idea of how many times we might have folded stars. I had no idea about how long my thoughts and dreams had been frozen for. The viewing shutters began to open. The light ran across the floor, through the deck, and as it did, it changed the shadows, and it caused me to squint through the light to what I could see. A beautiful, beautiful blue planet. We had arrived. The other pods hadn't launched, man. A malfunction on the mothership meant that I was here, but I was alone. My pod landed. It was me and the blue planet. And all here, I was surrounded by the beauty. Stepped outside the pod onto the soft land, and I began to walk, using my instruments to map the landscape as I went. I walked over what I can only describe as like a grassy meadow back home. There was a large, overgrown area ahead. I walked towards it. It was just like a forest. The forest had huge trees just like those at home. As I walked deeper into the forest, I could hear bird-like songs. I could hear howls from afar. Did this planet have a conscious life? I could feel the air against my skin, vibrating the echo of life. And it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. As I walked deeper into the forest, I began to feel my legs grow tired. I decided to sit down for a while and listen to those noises bouncing around my ears. And as I did, I remembered a dream I had back home. In the dream, I had fallen asleep in a forest to wake up to the sounds of life singing in my ears. I could feel the air touching my skin, and breathing I felt so alive and in such a vibrational state, like life was the only thing that mattered. I woke up. I had no idea how long I'd been laid there on the fallen tree. But I woke to the sun shining on my face. It was time for me to make my way back home. And as I walked around and found my way back to the path, I realized that the dream could be real. That the conscious life on the planet was something to marvel over. And I breathed the air as I walked, and I realized that the earth was alive and that she was beautiful, man. I knew that from now on I was going to love this planet with all my heart. That I was going to treat my fellow man with respect. That I was going to treat all other conscious life as equals. And that I'm going to preach that there's a different way. I'm going to show them that there's a different way. That they need to stop this. That they need to see the light. And that life is going to work. And that suddenly everything will change. Then the planet will again begin to sing. And then we will know that our Earth has returned, that she survived, so that mankind again can feel the heartbeat of life against our faces. She's beautiful, and you need to know it.
Alright guys, that was the first ever Green Man session, and that story was called The Sleep Loop by a really crap storyteller. And if you haven't guessed, the really crap storyteller was me. And you can imagine the sort of stories that I end up telling my children, who are 6 and 7, as I took them in at night. If it's not a wacky, crazy, far-out story with some sort of innuendo or loop towards the end, then let's just read them a story about Mr. Quackhen having a picnic next to the river. Either way, isn't it great? Tucking your kids up in bed at night and have that final 10 minutes chat with each one of them. It's fantastic. Now, I feel like run out of time. Seriously run out of time. Didn't even get to tell you about half of the stuff that I've been up to with regards to the hunt saboteurs that have been going out and saboteuring fox hunts and the like. So I guess we're going to have to save that for another show. I've even tonight prepared another 2 songs and a couple of waffles. But I've just not got time to do it, have I? I've run out of time. It must have been at the start of the show. I must be one of the slowest joint makers ever or something, because it took ages, didn't it? So, all I can say is I'll be back in a week or so, I think. I've got some more stuff. We'll do another session. I'll try not to be quite as stoned as I am. I've got to thank the bees for that one. And I'm just gonna, do you know what? I'm just gonna say it's just great to be talking to you guys again through the power of the internet and bringing my imagination into your lives. So thank you for listening to that. I've got nothing else to say, so I'm just going to go, okay? Have a fantastic night's sleep. Have a fantastic day tomorrow. Have a fantastic morning wherever you're waking up. Blah, 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 blah. Get off, you hippie. Good night.